What is going on, guys? It is DigiWatch TCG coming to you with a discussion video, and today's topic, we're going to talk about the prizing for the 2022 Championship Finals for the Digimon card game. Now, if you don't know, we do have a Nationals that it's in about a month. I'll get into more of the details there, but before we get into anything else, I do want to say a few things. Firstly, I myself have qualified and registered for the event. However, I haven't not made the full decision to go yet, and so that was what was driving this video. I myself live on the East Coast, and traveling to the West Coast is financially demanding, and staying there for a few days as well. So the first thing I want to mention is that this video is to kind of show you the pros and cons of what you're going for. And yes, it's going to be a fun event, and I think that going and traveling with friends and really getting that experience is really good if you do have the time and the money for it. But for those of you who are on the fence about it because you don't know if you can actually make it over, or you don't know if you're going to be able to afford it, this might be a good video to look at. Now, the second thing I do want to also mention is that I think Bandai over the last couple of months have done a really good job at being able to listen to their audience and make a couple of changes for the implementation of this game, and some changes that we've seen in the game since. I think I started seeing a couple of different good things with certain booster sets that are going to be coming out later, and some promo cards that are going to be coming out as well, based on the decisions Bandai has made. And and most of the stuff here in the prizing here is really good, but there is also a few things I want to be fully transparent about, and some of the stuff I don't necessarily agree with, which I might mention down the road. So without any further ado, let's go down and let's talk about it. So I'm just going to skip down over here. This is talking about Core TCG. It's hosted there. It's the LA Convention Center on the 24th to the 26th of February. This is usually kind of like the start of the new season, or right after this event, and the World Championship, which happens in March. And then April really is like the start of the regional season again for the upcoming year. And I do like, that concept here. The format is as what we've always had, except a small little change here. Offline, it is a day 1 qualifying event. Day 2 is a top cut, so top 32. The only difference between the 2 days in from what I'm seeing is that day 1 is a 45-minute round, whereas day 2 is a 55-minute round. Personally, I think it's probably because they're a bit worried of people going into time and winning in time, and sometimes that's not fun for either player, or even I lost because of time is mainly a lot of the excuses or reasons why people will say, oh man, I would have won if I didn't play security control. So maybe that is a partial reason why they are increasing the time to 55 minutes. So let's go into the prizing here, and there are pictures underneath, so I will go into that in a second. But first thing I want to mention is the participation, and I've already scanned down and seeing what I'm talking about here, and this is the first thing I have to say is what I think is really great is the participation playmat. I've seen it. I think it's really good pick for this year. I personally would be very happy just to get the playmat for qualifying, and if they were just going to send it out for anyone who ended up making and qualifying for it, that would have been great. But you do have to go there and you have to get that, and that is for everyone, whether or not you lose and you choose to leave after one round, you still end up getting it, which is great. Then you have the 2022 Championship Finals event pack, Altar Gold Stamp set. That is a 1 pack of it, and then you get another pack if you're in the top 128. And then in both cases, you also get event packs. You get 6 of them if you participate, and 4 of them if you reach the top 128. Now, this is where my first gripe goes. I've seen what the Altar Gold Stamp set is, and I really feel like they dropped the ball a little bit on this one, because just for participation wise, I just was very upset about seeing it. Then you have so we'll get into that, but I'll talk about what you actually get, and then we'll go into why, some of my reasoning. So top 32, you get the top 32 playmat, you get the top 32 jacket, which is a really interesting new thing. I've actually not seen it. or know what's really going to look like. And I hope they post a picture of what it would look like a little bit closer to the event. And then you get the finals Digimon Tamers pack, and that actually is really cool, and I will show you what it is as we get down. Then in terms of the rest, you get the top 16, you get the top 16 Doraemon frame trophy card. So if you end up making top 16 and get the Doraemon frame trophy card, I think that's really the first line here of like, actually maybe the top 32 playmat, but I think that's the main like value of coming to this event is reaching top 16 as a finalist. Yeah, you get everything else, great, but you also get the Doraemon frame card, and that is something that I would definitely put on my shelf. And whether or not I keep with card games in the future, I think it would be just a really great thing to show, like, yeah, I went to a card game event and had 1,000 people in it, and I ended up topping in the top 16 of those, which is like the top 1.5, 1.6% of 1,000 something people who attend. So just something to show you here. Top 8 gets the card as well, and they'll also get the finals event pack All-Star Code stamps. So as mentioned before, you have that in the top 130, 128, and the top participation here, and so that's 2 sets, and basically these ones give you like the full play set. Then you get a top 8 jacket, which is cool as well. And then there you get the top 4 here, and 4th place gets the invitation to World Championships, and you get the Championship Finals Digimon Tamers pack, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the 3rd set you would get if you were top 4. I'm gonna be off by 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would be 3 play sets of the card if you got 4th place. 3rd place gets the playmat. You get the Dorugamon, which is the champion framed card. You get the 3rd place trophy. You get the championship finals Tamers pack, 2 of them. So basically, that's a play set if you end up getting top 3. Event pack 3, you get an additional 4. You get a finals event pack, 2 more of those, just to have extra, I guess. 6 of the boosters, and then an invitation to the 2022 championship. All these are pretty much the same, with a little bit of up in the amounts you get. Like, you get 6 event packs instead of 4, and you get 9 booster boxes instead of 6. So I'm not going to go over each specific one here. Then 1st place, of course, you get the playmat. Everything else, full case of the booster boxes is what they look like they upped it to. You get the Dorugamon framed trophy card, and of course, by the way, 2nd place gets the Dorugamon framed card. And then, of course, one thing that the 1st place does get, or 2nd and 1st place get, is they get the invitation to the 2023 Championship Finals. So in other words, they do not need to qualify for playing in the regionals or store championships and topping in there to be going over next year when the 2023 season concludes. Now, let's talk about the cards real quick, because I don't want to make this a 20-minute video, and we've gone through most of it anyway. So this is the cards. The first thing is this is what you're getting as just a participation, and if you get a 128. As much as I feel Bandai has been doing really, really good in the last couple of months, I also think that they may have dropped the ball on what the finals event pack alt arts look like. And honestly, I think it would have been much better to put maybe one of each of the hybrids instead of like the 6 of these, because no one plays these cards. I mean, I'm not really certain of the logic they made for these. Yeah, they're the mega versions of all the different colors, but, or like, most played, I really don't see who made this decision here. 2 ways I would have gone about it. One, I would have maybe considered doing one of the hybrids, 1 per color, or I would have put maybe you get the full event pack 3, like you get one of every card of event pack 3. And I think that would have been totally fine. And yes, these are all like the highest rarity because they're going to have the gold stamp with the 2022 finals on it. But again, it's kind of one of those things where you look at it and you say, is it worth it? And this is, for me, something that's telling me like it's not necessarily worth it, because the only value you really have out of here are Savior Huckmon and Diaboromon. Everything else doesn't have too much value overall, unless they end up doing like some really good hybrid set down the line where these cards become relevant again. But I really don't think as of now, as of an attraction to the event, to get those cards. Now, of course, we've all seen Event Pack 3 with all the hybrids, but yeah, it would have been nice to get like maybe the Zephyr, the Korikaku, the Metal Kabuterimon, Kaiser Leo, okay, the Diaboromon can probably stay and the Saber Huck can stay, but honestly, it looks like for me they dropped the ball on this one for what you get. But yeah, I mean, Event Pack 3 is great, but you could also buy a bunch of these cards on TCG Player and not make the trip over and not spend almost $1,000 for that. But, once you get to top 32, then it starts to be worth it. Because now you get this. Now you get the Championship Finals Digimon Tamers pack, and that includes basically what I believe is a Tamer set from last year or earlier last year or before that. I don't remember exactly when this was in there, but it was a premium Bandai like exclusive. You got a playmat and all that stuff, and all the artworks are really exclusive to the set and really nice. And I think out of these cards, the highest value here is the Impmon with the Beelzemon in the background, which is really nice. And you're getting multiple copies of this the higher up you get, so also really, really nice. But still, kind of looking at this, I am still not satisfied on whether or not it would be good to go. And again, that's top 32, so now you're looking at about the top 3% of people who end up qualifying. And then from there, you do get the trophy cards. Now, admittedly, the trophy cards are really nice, and let's just zoom in over here. Let's kind of show. We have the Doromon here, which is really nice. Personally, if I got to top 16, and you get the top 16, so you get this card, that's really nice. And then you get that third place over here where you get the Darugamon. And I don't know if I think you might just get this card. Or I don't know if you get a playset of, not playset, but like the full Digivolution line. But really nice third place. Second place, the Dorogreymon. First place, Dorogormon. And personally, one of the reasons why they probably chose this set was because we started in BT7, and that was the first time X Antibody cards were actually introduced into the game. As far as my knowledge, I think that's correct. And BT8, BT9, BT10 all support X Antibody. BT11 supports X Antibody. And that's right where we're ending the year. And now for 2023, we may get a Agumon, Black or Greymon line for the 2023 championships if they keep with the same idea of the kind of like different cards. And these are framed cards, by the way. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, in terms of trophies, first, second, third, really nice. Of course, if you get that high up, I doubt that anyone's really going to want to buy those, but, I'm sure there's someone. But for these cards here, like, you probably get a little bit of cash, good amount of cash if you ended up selling one of these to another player or someone want to buy it. You probably make your entire trip and then some back if you chose to sell it. But some people, I think, are not going to sell it. I mean, I think there's only one. Now, talking about the playmats, this is where I started to get a little upset. Now, as I mentioned before, I think the best playmat out of all these actually is the participation and the championship one itself. And the reason for that is because it says championship finals. It has the world right there with Omnimon, which is a big, icon of the Digimon card game. But when you look at the top 32 here, I mean, I don't know whose decision it was to choose these images, but this is BT5, which was released in 2021, which is not the current season. So I just wonder why they chose these images, other than them being combined arts from BT5, which make a really nice picture. But at the same time, it's not showing anything of like from BT7 onwards. Maybe it was a way of recognizing previous sets. But if you're looking at a season and you're theming it of like, yeah, we have the whole Alpha Doromon line here, why not focus on playmats that emphasize like X Antibody and maybe hybrids or Imperial Dramon or Mastermon versus Imperial Dramon? That would have been a cool mat too. So I was a little surprised at that. Like we look at this and third place, same kind of thing. I mean, it's third place is really nice. Not the artworks I want to say are great. I have no problem with the artwork. It's just the decision of using the artwork for the season is a little confusing. This one's okay. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the design of the Bond of Friendship stuff anyway, but it is still a nice playmat for those players who like it. And again, BT6 came out pretty much at the beginning prior to the 2022 season, so kind of same reason. One of my favorite looking ones here is the Zwart versus the Chaos Gallantmon for second place, but again, like it's from BT5, so it doesn't really make much sense to me. And then, of course, you have Jesmon and Ganko as the championship mat, and that is a really good, nice play mat. I just, again, same gripe with, as I said before, it's from BT6, and nothing against the artwork. The artwork's amazing. I tried to collect these cards to make ultimate images like this, but same thing. Why not focus on the sets that came out this year? So anyway, though, that's my this short thing here. Now, if you ask me, I personally don't think it's worth it if you don't get the top 32, but that's what we're all here to compete for. At the end of the day, it's how much value do you have on actually going and enjoying yourself. Do you have the money for it? And if you're looking just to go there and then make a profit from selling what you get back, that might be your best shot, personally, of being able to get stuff from here. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and stay classy as always.